What do you say we just build something? Let's do this. Completely forgot something. All right, now let's get to it. Welcome back to Craft Computing, everyone. As always, I'm Jeff. So, what do you say today we just build a dirt cheap budget system that can have some future upgradability? A lot of people do the absolute bottom of the barrel, what's the cheapest components that I can buy to build a system and get it running. Today I want to build something with a focus on upgradability. So AMD just released their Raven Ridge APUs, which is the Ryzen 3 2200G and the Ryzen 5 2400G. The big advantage of these is they work on existing A320 and B350 motherboards, B350 being overclockable if you have one of those. The other nice thing is because they use these existing motherboards is you can upgrade the chip later on. Let's say you outgrow the CPU capabilities of this chip, you can upgrade to a 1700X or an 1800X. Let's say you outgrow the graphics capabilities of this chip. Throw an external graphics card on there, you're off and rocking. They are fantastic values for a budget gamer getting into this hobby who doesn't know that he wants to spend $1,500 on a computer right now, but is more than willing to drop $500 to get started. So, what do we got lined up for today? Starting with the aforementioned Ryzen 3 2200G. This is a 4-core, 4-thread, 3.5 GHz CPU with Vega 8 graphics on board. That is 8 compute units for Vega. Motherboard we'll be using today is the MSI Gaming Pro B350M. The really nice thing about using a B350 motherboard is, again, the CPU is overclockable, which means we're going to be able to get as much out of that CPU as we can, and also upgradability in the future. Let's say I want to upgrade to a 1700, that 1700 will also be overclockable. If I use an A320 motherboard, I'm limiting myself right off the bat. For memory, this one's going to come as a little bit of a shock. I'm actually spending more on memory than I am on my CPU. I've got $120 worth of memory here. Now, there are some cheaper kits out there. You can get 8 gigs of memory for less than what I paid. This is a $120 kit. The problem is Ryzen loves RAM speed. It loves giving it as much bandwidth as you possibly can. This is 3000 megahertz memory. Again, there are cheaper ways to do this. I'm not limiting myself in the future, and I'm not going to replace this if I don't need to. The other minor surprise for this build is I'm not going with a SATA SSD. I've actually got an M.2 NVMe SSD, Western Digital Black 256 gig. Now, the reason I chose this is only $100. I could get a 256 gig SSD SATA for maybe $80. Again, I'm getting faster performance out of this. I've got expandability in the future if I need it via other SATA drives or other spaces in the case. The other thing is, right now, I don't need to plug in any SATA power to my power supply. That cuts down clutter in the case, and it really makes the build look very, very clean. For my power supply, I've got a Corsair 80 Plus Bronze 550 watt. This was actually a refurbished unit from Newegg. I got this for only $35, I want to say. This is on Amazon for $45 right now, so that's one I'm going to link down in the video description if you're looking for a complete parts list. But there are good values to be had on power supplies if you look in the refurbished lots. And finally, this one's a give or take. I'm going to show you benchmarks from both the onboard graphics and from an MSI GTX 1050 graphics card. Again, you're not limited to just the Vega GPU that's on board the Ryzen APU. You can add an external graphics card, so I'm going to show you the performance both with and without, assuming the graphics card market ever comes back down to earth. This card is normally about $145. Right now it's selling on Amazon for $300. I apologize, that's what the affiliate code says. There's nothing I can do for you. For cooling, all I'm doing is using what came with it, and that's the AMD Wraith. It's an all-aluminum heatsink with a 92mm fan. I believe it's 92mm. Don't quote me on that one. 92mm? 92mm. That's what I'm going to say. So what am I going to put all this in? Well, I could have gone with like a $30 off-the-shelf Amazon or Newegg special. I decided to, again, think of expandability in mind. I wanted something that I could grow with, something that was sturdy enough to hold larger components, full-length graphics cards, possibly some water cooling in the future. I decided to go with the Cooler Master Masterbox Q300P. And if you want to see a full video review of this, I actually did that over on the Modders Inc. YouTube page, and you can follow the card right up here or down in the video description. So without much further ado, let's get started. Wait. Now let's get started. Hello and welcome back. It's the next day. It's the next day because I had some difficulties with this build. This NVMe SSD, not going to work in this build. I don't know why. NVMe M.2 drives can be a little bit funky sometimes when it comes to board compatibility. Just so happens I don't believe that this Western Digital is compatible with the MSI B350 Gaming Pro. So I'm going to have to nix this from the plans. And as I don't have another NVMe drive on hand, we're going to go back to a SATA drive. I went ahead and picked one up, 75 bucks. Advantage of this is it saves you 25 bucks on your budget. Disadvantage, the speed's going to be a little bit slower, and you're going to have to add a couple cables to your build, that being the SATA power lead from your power supply, as well as the SATA cable to your motherboard. Not a big deal, but I was just trying to keep the clutter down. I guess, we'll just keep pushing through. Stay tuned. So there you go, guys, your $500 starter gaming PC. Very competent numbers out of the 2200G just with the integrated Vega graphics. And as you can see, adding a GTX 1050 to this mix really knocks this thing out of the park. The really cool thing about this build, like I said, is it's built for expandability. It's built so you can buy a 2200G with 8 gigs of RAM and a 240 gig SSD today and get gaming for about $500. But then later on, you can upgrade the processor, you can upgrade the memory, you can upgrade the graphics card for however much and far you want to go. The 2200G, very competent little CPU at $99, and I think it's going to be very disruptive at the low-end market. And one quick note before I go, the GTX 1050 from MSI, the Gaming X, is actually not available at this time for the $150 price point it should be, thanks to the whole crypto mining and no graphics cards available anywhere fiasco we're going through right now. But there are a couple that are out there. There's the G1 Gaming from Gigabyte comes to mind. That's on Amazon right now for $149. And there's a couple others as well. Most GTX 1050s perform about the same, so if you're looking to build that $650 gaming PC, pick up any of those well-known GTX 1050s. Just make sure you buy it from a reputable website. Make sure to check out my fake graphics card review right here to know what not to look for. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Let me know down in the comments, what did you guys think of this build? Do you think it's a good idea to spend a little bit more today to have possible expansion in the future, or would you rather cut every penny now and get just the 2200G and maybe a graphics card for a little bit less? If you want to support the channel, make sure to follow the link to my Amazon affiliate down in the video description. Every dollar you spend on Amazon could help support this channel, and every dollar I bring in is actually going right back into content. Also, if you guys want to donate to my Patreon, you'll get exclusive access to my Discord server where you can chat with me and the other hosts from Talking Heads and ask us questions or just BS throughout the day. We do that a lot. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, everyone.